I'm going to deck you. But not with Magic deck. I'm tired of Magic. Here's why. I'm going to talk a little bit about Versus. It's not really that good of a deck. It's just something that I had close by. I like Versus because Versus, the placement of the cards actually matter. My friend Jake I don't know if he introduced me or what, but he got into it just about as much as me. Probably because his Batman deck is insane. I think it was a pre-con. It's okay. You know, it was one of those times. Versus, you can play DC and Marvel. I talked a little bit about it. But I love it so much, not only because of that, I allowed to get just smacked up my face of playing an evil deck against Batman. I'm like, yeah, Batman should win. I look at his card, I was like, that is overpowered. It should be. It's fine with that. I like the idea that I would play evil deck and I would always lose. I think that's pretty funny. But this is Shadowpact, so you got some June Moon. You got some Shazam. That guy's big, 15, 16. Got Dr. Fate. You would think Dr. Fate would actually be a little bigger, but. And Detective Chimp. No idea. Honestly, with comics, I learned more about comics from this than reading any comics in my life. This is one of the main reasons. I mean, a lot of Zatanna cards, a lot of Magic. Magic is a different Magic deck. Superman hates this deck. So, what was cool about it is placement mattered. If you have a card like this is a range card. So, it can actually be in the back of another card being protected. And being able to still attack. If you have a flight card, that card can fly over and it could actually attack the ranged person. Otherwise, it's just where it's at. But it does matter. They can each help each other out if they're adjacent. But it's different than Magic because each turn is going to be a more powered up turn. You can't play like a level 6 card on your first turn in any way whatsoever. That's going to be on turn 6. So if you don't get the cards that you need, you won't be able to play. So I believe the mulligan rule was pretty much you just mulliganed your hand of 4 until you liked it. 4, no, I don't like it. 4, no, I don't like it. 4, okay, this is a good hand. Because you want at least to have probably level 1, level 2, possibly level 3. You might have some big cards. But then you also have plot twists. Your mana, your land goes down. And then if it's turn proper to play it, you can play it. Like turn 2, you'd be able to play this plot twist. The thing with Shadowpact is a lot about using your endurance. Once you have no endurance, it's like your life. You're out. But you use it, and you use it, and you use it, and then you find ways to gain it back as you're playing. And even with Shazam, to make somebody go as low as you are, which I think is pretty funny. Like you've been slamming yourself the whole time and they're slamming you, and you just know that Shazam is going to come up on that 7th turn. Since it's your priority, let's say you started the game 1, 3, 5, and 7, throw down Shazam, equal to life, take out somebody big, win the game. I just think it's neat. You also have locations. Also, turn specific, but you know, that could be any turn. Again, paying endurance, put a counter on it. You're paying, but you're paying to gain stuff back. So it's a weird kind of like leech type of deck, if you want to use a magic term. The reason why some cards got banned real fast, there was one called Smash, I believe. It was the Hulk card. That card became so expensive because what you could do with it on its specific turn, 3 or 4, whatever it was, if you had all like 4 of those as plot twists, you could do like 16 extra damage with somebody who's going through. That could crush the game. That could stop it from even, you might die on turn 6 and never make it to 7. I'm surprised if we ever made it to 8. There's one thing about this game is, you know the game is gonna end. It's gonna end for sure. I never had a game that made it past, usually it was 7. If it was 8, yeah, you were dead by 8 for sure. So if you want a somewhat short game or a very time specific game, this is it. Here, this will be the last plot twist. Let's read it. Pay conjuration during your recruit step. You may pay 15 endurance. If you do, gain 1 resource point. Spend this resource point only to recruit a character with the printed Shadowpact affiliation. Now this could be serious. I don't know. You can do it by turn 3. So you could be putting in a turn 4. You could change it. Like, let's say you were screwed. You're like, you had only even cards and you're on the odd priority. You could change it to even and really mess up your opponent. Yeah, 15 endurance though. That's pretty intense. You only get 60, so I think to use that the best, maybe use this with other characters. But yeah, this is almost a fully, excluding one Gotham Knight. This is, and he's still a Shadowpact character. You don't know what I'm talking about.